Hi all, welcome to Learn IT. In the previous videos, we learned how to set up Terraform CLI on Windows machine, how to define AWS VPC with Terraform configuration, and how to write input and output variables. In this video, we will learn how to define a Terraform module and what is Terraform root module, how to invoke child modules from root module, and how to create a multi-module Terraform configuration. And at last, we will validate, plan and deploy the AWS resources using multi-module Terraform configuration. So what is a Terraform module? A Terraform module is a set of Terraform configuration files in a single directory. So if you see here, in the Terraform directory, I have certain files like license, main.tf, outputs.tf, readme, terraform.tf vars, and variables.tf. So all of these files are as part of standard Terraform configuration structure and defining a Terraform module. If we talk about Terraform root module, it is a set of Terraform configuration files, or we can say it is a module which is kept at a root directory in your project hierarchy. So in your project workspace, the root directory is having any configuration files of Terraform. It is considered as a root module of your project. And any other subdirectory having Terraform configuration files is considered as a child module. So in this case, we have two child modules here. One is S3 website hosting module and another is VPC module. Now let's go to Visual Studio Code and understand how to create multi-module Terraform configuration project. So guys, this is our previous Terraform configuration project, and in the previous project we had covered AWS custom VPC creation using Terraform, and you can see we had almost written 200 lines of code for a custom VPC in Terraform. Now let's remove this code and define a separate module to create a AWS VPC. So I am going to delete everything from our older configuration file. So you can see from S3 bucket to AWS VPC, subnets, security groups, everything I have deleted, and you can see I have just kept Terraform configuration provider and provider configuration and data source for availability zones in our root module. Now let's define a separate sub module for a VPC, and I am creating a new directory named VPC, and inside this directory right now I don't have anything. Let's add a new file for main.tf for this child module and one more file for outputs of this module. So we have to create outputs.tf file, and also if you want to take any variables for this module, child module VPC, we have to define a variables.tf file. And now you can see I have added three files, main.tf, outputs.tf and variables.tf for our child module VPC. Now let's go to main.tf of child module VPC and define a new module. So guys, I'm just providing a new comment here, VPC using remote module from Terraform registry. So guys, Terraform registry is nothing but a place where all the Terraform modules are stored. So like Maven dependencies, we have a central repository for Maven. Similarly, we have a central repository for Terraform from where we can pull predefined modules. And here I am going to pull a remote module for AWS VPC. Now let's define a new module using module keyword and just provide a name for your VPC. This is the reference name for this configuration. And inside VPC, you have to provide first of all the source for this module. And for source, I am going to provide Terraform AWS modules VPC AWS. So you can see this source will pull a predefined module for AWS VPC from Terraform registry. You can find the syntaxes for different modules available on Terraform registry platform. So guys, The source details I have provided here for AWS VPC module is a public Terraform registry. You can also provide your own private Terraform registry details here, or you can also provide HTTPS endpoint for your Bitbucket or GitHub repositories. Now next to source, we have to define a name property for this AWS VPC, and we can provide under name whatever name we want to provide for our AWS VPC. So I am providing VPC using Terraform registry, and once you are done with name, we can provide CIDR. This is network range for our VPC. I am just providing 10.0.0/16 to create a virtual network. The next important attribute is tenancy of our instances. To define instance tenancy, we can use instance underscore tenancy attribute, and for its value we have multiple options. For now I am using default, which is a shared instance tenancy. So you can also use other values if you want dedicated host for your application. Once you have defined AWS VPC name, CIDR and instance tenancy, you can add other information like availability zones. So let's define availability zones attribute, and here let's read these availability zones from input variables. So I am using where.az1 and where.az2. So as of now we haven't defined any variables file, but we will declare these input variables in a variables.tf of our child module. Now let's define our private and public subnets. So we have to use private subnets attribute to define our private subnets, and again we have to use an array of IP ranges. So I am providing two IP ranges to create a set of two private subnets. So let's provide 10.0.1.0/24 as our first private subnet, and 10.0.2.0/24 as our second private subnet. Similarly, we have to define a set of public subnet for our VPC. So we can use public subnets, and for public subnets as well we can use IP ranges, which are subnets of our VPC network. So I am using 3.0/24 and 10.0.4.0/24 as our second public subnet IP range. So guys, we are done with multi-AZ subnets configuration, and here the first subnet will be launched in first availability zone and second subnet will be launched in second availability zone. Other than these attributes, we have to define some attributes for our net gateway, which is responsible for egress communication of our private subnet resources. So let's enable net gateway for this VPC, and we have to use enable underscore net gateway attribute, which accepts values of Boolean type. So we have to define enable net gateway. So we are enabling net gateway here, and we have to also provide, if you want single net gateway only, then we can provide single net gateway as true. And also, as we have defined two different availability zones and subnets, so we have to define whether we want a single net gateway per availability zone or not. So if you want a single net gateway, because this doesn't come under free tier, so you have to define one net gateway per availability zone as false. So this will create only one net gateway for our complete VPC. It will not create different net gateways for different availability zones. And at last, we can provide some tags for our VPC using tags attribute. which is an object of key value pairs, and here I am providing first key as VPC source, VPC module source, and for value I am providing as Terraform registry, Terraform AWS registry, and also we can provide one more key value pair like environment, and I am providing environment as dev for this VPC. So guys, you can see we have defined a complete VPC with only 20 lines of code, and earlier we had written 200 lines of code for a VPC. Now let's go to input variables file, and you can see here I have defined two input variables for availability zones. The first one is AZ1 and second one is AZ2, and we are using these variables in our child modules main.tf using where.az1 and where.az2. And outputs.tf I have provided details for our VPC ID. So we want VPC ID to be used in other modules. So we can export it using outputs.tf file, and inside outputs.tf file I have defined an output variable for VPC_ID. Now let's go to main.tf of root module, and here you can see I have defined a new module to load this child module. You can see here the source I have mentioned here is ./vpc, which is subdirectory for VPC child module, and I have also passed the attributes which we have defined in input variables of child module. So availability zone 1 and availability zone 2 we have to pass from our root module to our child module while loading this child module. Similarly, I have created one more submodule to host a static website in S3 bucket. Now let's go through the main.tf of S3 web hosting child module. So you can see here I have defined a new resource for AWS S3 bucket, and I'll be using this S3 bucket to host a static website. So I have mentioned public read access control list policy, and for policy document I have provided an inline policy document with a read access for all the objects of this S3 bucket for all principals. So this policy will allow us to create a S3 bucket with a public access to all the objects inside the bucket. And for website object, I have provided index document as index.html and error document as error.html. This is the configuration for website pages. And to load this child module, S3 website hosting child module, we have to call it from our root modules main.tf file. So you can see I have already added a new module. You can see the source I have mentioned for this module is S3 website hosting, which is subdirectory having child module files. So guys, we are done creating one simple multi-module Terraform configuration project with one VPC submodule and one S3 website hosting submodule, and we are invoking these two submodule child modules from our root modules main.tf file. Now let's initialize this Terraform configuration using Terraform init command, and once we are done with initialization for our Terraform configuration, we can invoke Terraform plan or Terraform validate and Terraform apply command to deploy these resources. So let's wait for some time to get this Terraform configuration initialized. So guys, we are done with Terraform initialization. Now let's apply Terraform validate command to check our configuration. And you can see we have got success for our Terraform validate command. It means our configuration is valid. Now let's apply Terraform plan and save this plan with VPC and website plan. So guys, you can see it has created one plan, VPC and website plan binary file, and using this plan it will deploy all the resources. As part of the plan, you can see what and all this Terraform configuration will be creating on your AWS account. So you can see it will create one S3 bucket. Likewise, you can see it will create VPC with public subnets, private subnets, route tables, then NAT gateway, internet gateway. All information you can see here with Terraform plan command. And at last, you can use Terraform apply to deploy all the resources. You have to confirm this. Now you can see it is creating these resources like S3 bucket, VPC, Elastic IP, NAT gateway, internet gateway, route tables. And once we are done with resource deployment, we can go to AWS console and check our resources. And also we can upload some simple index.html and error.html file to our S3 bucket and validate it is able to host a static website or not. So guys, we are done with execution of Terraform configuration, and it has deployed all the resources which we had defined as part of our multi-module Terraform configuration project. Now at last you can see in the console it has printed S3 website endpoint and VPC ID. Now you can see these output variables I had defined in our main configurations outputs.tf file. So if you go and see my main configurations root modules output.tf, I have defined VPC ID and S3 website endpoint, and these variables I am getting out of my child module output variables file. Now let's go to AWS console and check it has created all these resources or not. So let's go to VPC as well as also check our S3 buckets. So guys, it is loading, and if we check, we have created one new S3 bucket, Learn It Terraform Web Host Demo bucket, and you can see it is public. Now let's go and upload a simple HTML page. So guys, I am adding a new file from my static web pages, and I am adding index.html, which is a simple HTML page for my website. And once we upload this page, I will hit S3 website endpoint to check whether it is working or not. Now let's go back to Visual Studio Console and check our S3 website endpoint. You can also get it from AWS console. Now let's go to So guys, you can see it has loaded our index.html page, and it is able to host a simple static website. Now let's go to VPC management console and check our VPC. So guys, you can see there are total 2 VPCs, and you can see VPC using Terraform registry it has created using our multi-module Terraform configuration. Also we can check our CIDRs. So you can see the CIDR is 10.0.0.0/16, and if you look at the subnets, we should have got our public and private subnets. So you can see we have our private subnet, public subnet, and there are 2 private subnets and there are 2 public subnets in different availability zones. So the first one is in US East 1A, and the second public subnet is in US East 1B. Similarly, we have private subnets in multiple availability zones. If we look at the route tables, we will see public and private route tables for our subnets. And inside public subnet, public route table, we can see the route with internet gateway, which is created internally with AWS VPC Terraform module. Also, for private route module, if we look at the routes, we will get a route with NAT gateway. So guys, today we learned how to create multi-module Terraform configuration project, how to define child modules and how to invoke child modules from root module. In the upcoming videos, we will learn how to define application load balancer, EC2 instances, target groups, RDS and Elastic Cache using Terraform. Thank you for watching this video. Please join me in the next videos.